Hey, we live. Rico, we
Hey,
live.
Hi.
what's going on?
What up?
What's up, guys? All right, so let me see. I want to tweet out the link. Oh, there we go. You on it. I didn't even do it yet. You know what I found out?
What'd you find out?
You have no problem being the side guy.
I have no problem with.
Being the side guy from your new song.
Oh, trying
Is
to
that
get
a
it.
fact?
You know what? That's not totally true. That song, that song don't say that.
Well, but it makes me
The
think
song is
that.
basically he just basically saying he lost the girl, and he like, man, at least can we pretend like he trying to do whatever. He just like
But she has
I need
somebody
you.
else.
No, he said she loving somebody else because he lost her. She left him.
Right. She's with somebody else, but
She
you
left.
wouldn't mind.
You love her that much, you trying to figure it out. He just at this point he just trying to figure it out. Like what can we
What,
do? What can we say?
what made you choose to write this song?
You're a million miles past gone. I wish my bed was warm, but you loving somebody else. You know what I mean? He like she ain't even near me, but wish she was back here. What you say, sweetheart?
What made you choose to put this song out?
That's what I felt like. That's the end of the story for my album, and I wanted to tell
Mhm,
the story backwards. At the end of the movie, this proverbial movie that's called "Turn the Lights On" the album, the
okay.
guy loses the girl. So if I'm setting you up, it's like a Tarantino film. Tarantino always starts the movie at the end, and then he kind of traces it back to the beginning and kind of puts the story together. At the end of the
Right.
story, he loses her. Now, what caused me to lose the girl is the rest of the album, and I feel like "Turn the Lights On" the album is really the lights represent fame, success, money. These are things that I was exposed to. And what happens is people say money changes you. No, money don't change you. Money shows you who you really are. You know why? Because when you don't got no money, you only can live within the means that you're given. When you got money, now you got choices. Now if you don't like fish sticks, you can eat steak. Now if you don't like, so you don't realize what you like or what you into or who you really are until you're comfortable and free enough to be able to have options. And that's what Turn the Lights On is. And when I got these options, I started seeing things and I started realizing who I really was, and I started making some mistakes. I started dealing with these type of people. I started messing with these wrong type of girls. I started doing different types of things, and I feel like in the end of this particular story on Turn the Lights On, he lost the girl. Now I want to entice you enough to be able to buy the album and really understand the rest of the story and how he lost the girl, what decisions he made to lose the girl, and will he get her back? I didn't want to
Is
make
the
an
whole
album. Excuse me?
is the whole thing told backwards?
No, it's
Like,
not.
I mean,
It's just
it's gonna
basically
be the first song or it's the first single.
that's the first single off the album, but the rest of
Okay.
the album you'll understand all of these different principles. It's not like it's going to be in chronological order at all. I don't want people to overthink it. I just want people to enjoy the album, but I'm just letting you know that this album is based upon Turn the Lights On. The concept of the album, the project is this: like what happened when the lights came on? What happened when you got successful? What happened when you got famous? What happened when you got money? How did it change your perspective
Don't
of
you
who?
think that don't you think that people treat you differently when you have money?
Absolutely, absolutely. And even the people who love you, they treat you different. Even the real genuine good people, they treat you totally different. And not because they trying to kiss ass or anything all the time. Sometimes they are, but sometimes people treat you differently because they don't know how to take it. You know what I mean? They don't even know how to take you because your everything about you becomes different. I feel like I was always the same guy, but when you put some millions in somebody's pocket, you walk in the room, your whole everything is different. So they don't know how to take you. They kind of adjust into who you are now. You know?
Right.
Now,
So do
aside
you
from
want
the
your
album, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Angela.
knows me, Jewel. Do you want your
I
whole
wasn't
album
any.
to tell? Do you want your whole album to tell a story, or is each song a different story?
I think the whole album is like the entire album is just really about this process. What happened when I became successful? Because I couldn't just write songs that was about nothing. You know what I mean? I couldn't write songs that was about anything. I just had to write music that directly related to who I was. So no, every particular song may not feel like, oh, this happened next and this happened here. No, it's just basically the idea of the turn the lights on concept is all of these things are things that happened to me as a result of success. Some things were good, some things were bad, some mistakes I made, some, a lot of things I might have done wrong, some things I did right, some, just different adjustments. I feel like that's what the concept is.
Okay.
Now, aside from the album, what turns you off about a female?
You know what really turns me off? It's two type of girls that turn me off, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got an unsuccessful girl who's always begging and leeching and trying to figure out a way to get something. Who's always down talking to somebody because they don't got it, but then they don't got it themselves. He talks about how some stuff together and this and that. That's just super turn off too, because there's a level of insecurity inside of that type of speech. Even when a man does it, when a man talks about how much
we call him a hustler.
Yeah.
Or they like, always telling you what they don't got or what they do got and they don't need nobody. And I got 2 cars and I got this. It's like, sweetheart, chill out, because stop. But also, you know what? The biggest turn off to me, tardiness. You know what I mean? I'm always prompt. I'm always on time. Even for instance, the fact that this Google chat started late and it couldn't get right, I was out here cursing people out. I don't like that at all. I like being on time. Angela tell you, anytime I do Breakfast Club, I'm 45 minutes early. I'm sitting in the lobby waiting. I'm never
early.
I'm never gonna be running late. Yeah, recording session, whatever it is, I'm on time. I feel like, so if the biggest turn off for me with a woman, I think number one is a woman who can't be on time and can't do what she said she was going to do.
Time is money.
Exactly.
So you know what? Being late is disrespectful to people too. I've always said that. It means that you don't have no regard for other people's time. Like
exactly.
It's a little disrespectful.
The most arrogant thing I think a person can do is to not be
Those are your big 2 turns. Smelly vaginas over here. That doesn't turn you off. You're fine with that.
In your mind,
I got time for that.
Female respected?
What happened?
In your mind, what makes a female respectable? Like, what makes you respect a female?
I respect all females, even the ones that don't respect themselves. Even if the ones that don't respect themselves, I might point that out, but I'm not going to disrespect anybody. But I know what you mean. Basically,
Question.
They got to demand respect for themselves. They got to say, I'm not going to carry myself this way. I'm not going to talk like this. I'm not going to act like this. I'm not even going to say dress, because I feel like a person has the right to dress how they want to dress. So I never would judge anybody based on how they dress. But I just feel like you don't put yourself, if all your emphasis is on your smile, if all you talk about is how pretty your smile is, and I see your smile all the time, then I got to approach you based upon your smile and that. But if all you talk about is how big your ass is and how big your titties is, then that's the first thing I'm talk about, or that's the first thing I'm gonna attack when I see you. You know what I mean? So I feel like you gotta demand respect. You gotta walk with it. It's an air that you gotta have about yourself. It don't mean I'm better than nobody. It don't mean that I'm the fly bitch. You know what I mean? But it just feels like she should always. You gotta give her respect when she's not gonna accept anything but respect.
All right.
So I have a question. So if you were dating and you and your girl going out to a club, right? And she came out the room with a short dress on, would you make her go change, or how do you feel about that?
No, not at all. I mean, I'm not gonna have her looking ridiculous, but I'm not petty. At the end of the day, she with me. I mean, if she looking raunchy or whack, she got changed because she looking whack. But it ain't gonna be about no dress too. If her ass is showing, we not doing that. That's corny. You know what I mean? But it's a tight, short dress. Nothing wrong with that. I'm secure. I'm super secure.
You don't mind other guys looking at your girl, right?
Absolutely not. What they gonna do? But look.
Yeah, we had some questions that were hashtagged on Twitter earlier, so I'm gonna ask you a couple, right? Were you ever turned down in the music industry?
Absolutely. You want to know what's funny? I was turned down by Puff, who's a good friend of mine now, but I was supposed to trying to sign a Bad Boy, and I couldn't even I came for the meetings and they didn't show up. He didn't open the door for the meeting. Something happened. He just kind of had me waiting outside, and I didn't get inside. And people. I met with different record companies, and they told me my music wasn't good enough. I used to pitch songs for people, and they told me, wasn't good enough. I started my career off as an artist, and people think I started off as a writer, but I actually started off as an artist first, and then I started writing songs. And when I began writing songs, people said, "Oh, he's a rapper. He can't write songs. Like that's never gonna happen." So then the irony is, after I became successful as a writer and I became an artist, people said, "Oh, he's a writer. He can't be an artist." So it's just like it's always gonna be rejection. That's day to day. I still get rejected on certain things. It happens.
Now, let me ask you something since you just brought that up. With this recent controversy with Diddy, where two artists get the same song and then they get into a beef over who actually ends up recording the song and putting it out first. Is that a frequent occurrence?
Yeah, that happens all the time. All the time. I mean, I don't think it's usually on the record company's part. It's never that deliberate where somebody throw the record out. I mean, that happens sometimes, but yeah, it's something that happens all the time. Been happening for years. Polo the Don put out that Love in the Club record that Usher did. I think he leaked it before, and nobody asked, nobody told him to do it. That happens all the time. That was a different situation because that was a Usher song all the way. But yeah, people do that. Take records, take a beat that somebody already had, and all type of things.
Right. Sheesh. Yeah, because you don't want to get physically assaulted for it.
Yeah, that ain't. I mean, like that. I ain't worried about none of that though.
All right, here's another question off of Twitter. Have you ever been to somebody else that you speak of, and what's your personal experience with the song's content?
Have I ever been what? Ask that again.
Have you ever
Say it
been
again?
to somebody else? Have you ever been to somebody else that you speak of, and what's your personal experience with the song's content?
I don't think I particularly have been in that situation directly. Well, you know what? This is what happened. I'm gonna be honest. I was going through bullshit. All right, this is what happened. I was going through a period of time where I wrote a bunch of sad songs. I was going through. I was broke up with my girl for 3 months. This is 3 months of somebody living down the street from you. You don't see them and don't talk to them. And what happened was you start understanding that like somebody else is gonna be with your girl. And I wrote Heart Attack, I wrote 4 a.m., and I wrote Mr. Wrong around the same time. This song I wrote somebody else like 2.5 years ago. I was sitting on it. But what happens is you feel this type of, you sick. You're really literally sick. Not just for the fact that you lost a girl. Losing a girl is one thing. It's how men are selfish. Men are super selfish. Because if I know that you're not with me and you a nun somewhere, I'm fine. I'm okay. But if the idea enters my mind that somebody else could be with you, that's the killer. That's the thing that'll have you not eating for weeks. Because you just don't want anybody to be able to say that they had your girl in that way. So that situation is very honest. It's very true. That's why the album is very important for me to conceptually put this together in a way that can make sense and tie it all together to like how these type of things happen and how success played a part into that. And also, you know what else? You know why the song is really important? Is because I want to introduce the idea of somebody who I consider myself to be. I'm an anti-corny guy. I'm super cool. I think that I don't do corny shit. I don't do lame shit. And I feel like I'm somebody that you could look to and be like, you know what? Rico's a cool dude. But I also want to give an example of a black man embracing the idea of love. The only genre of music that rejects and makes you feel corny if you say I love you, I miss you, and all that is urban. You know why? They want to reject the idea of a black man being a father, a husband, being honest and true to one situation. They want us to reject that idea. That's why urban music is full of turn up, I get money, I fuck bitches. That's what the whole urban radio is
That's kind of recent though, because I think back in the day it was a lot of love songs.
Yeah, and I think that killed us. We started the black family died a long time ago, and there's so much there's so many things that we could do to revive it in a cool way. I think what Jay-Z is doing with Beyonce is an amazing thing, because it's the idea of the coolest person we know. obviously Jay-Z to me is the coolest person in music, you know, and as far as black people are concerned, and Beyonce as well. So to see them together is super cool. That's why when that whole elevator shit went down, people were excited because they couldn't wait to see a black family destroyed, right? Because that's what they want. I feel like it's a cool thing to admit as a man. And I'm gonna give y'all an example. Anybody from the streets, anybody from the hood, you've been on your block before and heard the most craziest killer in the world standing outside his girl house saying, "Open up this fucking door, you know I love you." Like that's like this nigga's the craziest nigga we know. He gonna kick this door down, but it's just how much he loves this girl. But when you sing it, it's like when somebody sing a song saying, "I miss you, I love you," they make you feel like, oh, you soft for that. I want y'all to understand the biggest wars of all time, the medieval time, the longest wars, and people died for hundreds and hundreds of years from the love of a woman. A king will lose his right to another king. He will war with these people for hundreds and hundreds of years. And people make it look like being in love with somebody is weak. But that's the type of things that will happen in the name of love. So musically, I feel like it takes a level of security to say to yourself. When Kanye made 808 and Heartbreak, I had the utmost respect for him because I felt like that's his way of showing. I can say what I want to say because I'm still me. I'm still that guy, and it's okay for me to show my vulnerability. It's okay for me to show you I've been hurt, and I'm fucked up right now.
Well, let me ask you this.
You know what I mean? And go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh. What do you think about Chris Brown saying that publicly about Karrueche on Instagram? How did you feel when you saw that?
Like he said that he made a huge mistake. He said that I shouldn't have did that, but I'm emotional, and sometimes it can work against me. And I feel the same way. I feel like he just got emotional. I don't think that's something he should have did, but he said that too. See, because what happens is if I was to say, I don't feel like he should have did that, somebody could say, oh, Chris could even get an attitude and say, yeah, nigga, why you mentioning me or whatever. But he said that. So I feel like it's okay for us to be honest and say, yeah, he shouldn't have did that, and he even said he shouldn't have did that. It's something that you don't do. But in all fairness, he admitted, like, yo, I'm an emotional guy. You know what I mean? And I admit that what I did was whack, and he asked for the forgiveness of the people, and just really people understand how passionate he is of a person.
How do you feel about passwords? Do you think your mate should have your passwords to your phone, or like both of you guys, Angela and Rico? How do you both feel about that?
No
Have
passwords.
Your phone?
No passwords.
Well, it depends. I think, like, I have a friend who's married, and her husband answer each other's phones. They use each other's phones. They have that kind of relationship. And I think that's great because there's nothing to hide. They're not spying on each other. But there's been times that, he forgot his phone and he had her phone, and I'll call and he'll answer. Or I'll send her a text and he'll be like, oh, it's Trev. I got her phone right now, but I'm going to let her know. So I think it's great. But I don't think.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think it should be. I don't think it should be for the reason of spying or trying to find information. Just more like whatever,
Yeah, no passwords, yo. Cause it just you get your phone, I got my phone. We gotta have some type of separation in this situation. Like you can't be all I got your phone, you got my phone. You gotta have your life.
You got your phone at home and you need something important. Can you tell her? Can you go? Here's the password and give me this number.
Yeah, I could do that.
And what if you're married? What if you're married?
It don't matter if you're married. See, this is what happens. I feel like you gotta have some type of separation. You know what I mean? I'm not married, right? But if I was married, I still would say to myself, we gotta have some type of you time and me time and our space. If you don't have that, you're gonna go crazy. It's only a matter of time before you start feeling like I get claustrophobic, easily when it comes to relationships. Somebody's crowded. You gotta have time. You gotta have your area of your life where that's something sacred. Because guess what? I have these group. Let's not even make it seem like guys texting a bunch of girls. I got these group chats. Me and my homies, we got these group chats, and we talk the crazy shit in the world, right? We send the crazy reckless pictures. They might send a naked girl. I might send crazy quote or some I screenshot it from Twitter, Instagram, and we laugh all day long. These crazy group chats. It's our chance to be corny without nobody knowing we acting corny, right? So that's it. That's our private thing. That's like you can with your friends. I mean, I'm saying you can't bring your girl, You go somewhere like a cigar bar with your friends and you guys talking. And then it's 12:30. You have the time. I think you just need that space. You need that to be able to be you for a little while. Third party, you don't want to be privy to. Now, feel like all that phone shit. Leave the phone.
But let's say you do
You
find
turn your
something,
phone
or you
upside
catch.
down at home?
Huh?
You have your phone upside down at home?
No, no, no. I don't do all that. I just got the shit where none of it shows up.
Let's say you caught like your mate cheating. Could you like forgive them and move on?
As a man, I couldn't, and I could forgive him, but I gotta move on. Let me tell you why. I know y'all gonna be mad. I know Angela probably like, oh, you asshole, right? But listen, men and women are way different, right? A man can have a physical relationship with another woman and not lose any type of feelings towards the woman he's with. And again, and also a man can have an intimate mental relationship with another woman and still not lose feelings for the woman he's with. But if a woman takes it sexually there with another dude, it's one of two things. She a hoe and she don't give a fuck. Or she fucking with that nigga. She loved that, like that nigga up here. Mentally, she was attracted to him. And I feel like I lost her.
Hold on,
I feel like I
Rico.
lost her.
Back up. Now, hold on. I don't think that's necessarily true. There's plenty of women out here that can have a fuck buddy and not have feelings
If you got a man,
and not be a hoe.
But if you a man, I'm saying if you got a man, not saying if you just single.
So a man is not a hoe. Is a man a hoe if he does it?
Yeah, he's a hoe. We been hoes.
Okay.
Okay.
As long as you know that he's a hoe too.
Do you consider going to the strip club cheating, Angela?
No.
No.
Listen, Rico, I've been in the strip club with Rico. No problem.
No problem.
He's having wings and having a great time.
But I want to say, can I just reiterate with that, right? This is how I feel.
You know, I think also.
You said what? You lost each other? Listen, I just want to say one last thing about that subject. I feel like if my girl is texting a guy back and forth and he making her smile and she giggling when she see his messages and I lost her. That's not my girl no more. That's his girl. You know what I mean? If it goes that far, it's just different. It's different.
It makes her smile? No.
If she's flirting and feel like she's feeling this dude, in my mind, I lost her. It's not even so much she's so wrong. It's that, damn, I don't know what I was doing, but I must not been doing the right thing. She gotta have that nigga.
But you know what? Sometimes mistakes in relationships. Sometimes people make mistakes early on or whatever, and sometimes there can be some coming back from that.
Yeah, early on maybe. But when you
like sometimes you could be with another dude and then realize, you know what? That wasn't even right. I'll never do that again.
Okay, yeah, after he shitted on you, that's usually how it happens. After he get what he wanted. After he do his thing with you, and then you realize that your dude was the one who really cared about you. That's the thing. That's the thing that bothers me. It's like, all right, cool. Even if your dude ain't shit, he loved the shit out of you, and he show you that, and he treats you good. But these other dudes will put the face on and be like, oh man, sweetheart, I care about you. And then as soon as he get it popping, it's like, I'm cool. I'm really just kind of cool on you now. You know. And then you like, I made a big mistake. Of course you made a big mistake. He's not hitting you back no more. He's delivered.
But what if you're not treating your girl so? What if you're not treating your girl when she steps out? Then what? And you know you was messing up. I said, what if you wasn't treating your girl so good and you know you was messing up when she steps out? Can you forgive that?
I mean, that's the thing. Don't do me because I did it to you. That's how it works. You can't live life like that.
Rico is just not going to let us be great.
No, I can't let you be great.
All right, let me see. We have some more questions.
As a popular artist, how do you keep your relationship private?
Yeah, Ange.
Who, me? First of all, I don't think that Rico keeps his relationship private. I think that he's very puts it out there. child. He loves his woman. I feel like that's a great example for people.
But I do keep my relationship private because nobody know the inner
But
workings of it.
I mean, some people act like they're not even in one.
Oh yeah, that's different. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't hide the fact that I'm in a relationship, but the inner dealings, the inner workings, I don't like to be public with that. But that's even with my friends and family. Like I feel like even with your friends and family, they should know about every argument. I was sitting in the airport yesterday, a couple of days ago, and I overheard this lady going off on the phone with her friend about everything her husband said and everything she said and back and forth. And I know y'all women like to do that, but I was like, you shouldn't do that because when you get back with him, now your friends is looking at him so crazy. Like I remember she told me you did this, that, and the third. So I just feel like certain things should be private. The worst thing you could do is bring me around your family after you told them all the shit I did. That was so awkward for me. It's like, damn, they know I ain't shit.
I wouldn't tell my family, but I might tell my friends certain things, but only somebody really, really close to me because it's like therapy, and I think that you have to know who you can talk to about certain things.
I just feel like some of that shit.
Like
You just gotta keep that,
my friends tell me a
like
lot of stuff. And you know what? Sometimes like you need support from your friends because you know what you got to do, and you need to tell them so they could be supportive.
Yeah.
It's not easy going through alone. I think men are more programmed not to talk to people about things.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And you know what it is? It's for so many different reasons, though. I think we smart enough because we know that things change. If I tell you everything she did, and me personally, I got a good friend of mine girlfriend I hate. I hate his girl. She disrespectful out her mouth. And one thing I don't like is a smart mouth woman. I like sassy women. I like feisty women. I like that. But a woman who got a mouth on her and talk to you any kind of way, no. I can't do it. That's not sexy to me. I'm not turned on by that shit. That shit is corny. And watch your mouth. Especially if you getting taken care of by somebody, you really need to watch your mouth. But I got a friend who does everything for his girl, and she come out her mouth so crazy to him. And he should never share that with me because I don't allow her in my house. Like you know how awkward that is for him. He come to Thanksgiving and visit my house, and she can't come. I have events she can't come to. I have it because I specifically told him. I said, fam, she can disrespect you. That's crazy. But I'm not gonna allow her to be around me when she talk like that to you. I can't accept that. You my brother. I care too much about you.
That's true. My friend, when she was dating this guy, she was telling me that he had the smallest penis she ever saw, and then she married him. And now every time I see him, all I think was, I can't believe she married this guy with this little penis. She didn't want to told us that.
What the fuck did this turn into?
No, but that really happened because they were just dating. I didn't know he was going to marry him.
So the whole time you looking at him like, damn, I know you got a little penis.
Every time I see them, I'm like, I feel bad for her. But she shouldn't have told us that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that she didn't know she was going to marry him. But I was like, man, she going to marry him. I'd be like feeling bad, like I gotta get her Christmas presents and stuff.
What if she told you he had the biggest one in the world? Then how you gonna act when you get around him? You gonna be a little.
She ain't getting no from me.
You be in them DMs.
No, I'll be happy for her. I'm always happy for my friends when things are going great.
When things are going great, when things is going great. Oh man.
Sugar's not always better.
I hope my mom ain't on this Google chat. Mom, you're making me say this. It's the industry. They make you talk like this.
No, we're having real conversation. Have you ever had your heart broken?
Me? Yes.
What happened?
All right, let me tell you how I got heartbroken. First of all, can I say one thing? I get so mad when girls go off on me on Instagram and Twitter. They say, Rico Love must have got his heart broken because he always shitting on women. I don't shit on women. I shit on bitches. There's a huge difference. If you don't take care of your children and you be in the club and you don't be doing the right thing, then to me, you a punk bitch. And Tupac used to say it all the time. He had a record called "You Wonder Why They Call You Bitch." He used to go off on unfit mothers and girls who be in the club instead of being with their kids. That's who I shit on. I don't shit on women. I think women are the most amazing things in the world. So let's get that out the way real fast. But what happened to me in college, I went to FAMU, and this girl I really love, her name was Shanique. I dated this girl named Shanique. She's from Indianapolis. If you know Shanique, tweet her right now. Say, why you break Rico heart like that? But I really was into this girl, Shanique, right? And I was at this gambling house. We was all, this guy who had a crib off campus. We was all living on campus, but this guy had a crib off campus. And Clue, what up? So, he had this crib off campus. We gambled. And I overheard her girl telling the dude, what happened? Hello? What did he say?
Oh, he's saying hi. I know there's a delay, so.
Okay. It's weird. So I overheard her homegirl telling this guy, yo, my friend Shanique want to holler at you. So I'm sick. I'm like in the corner like, no, why is she doing this? Because we was like seeing each other. We was really serious. So her friend was Nicole too. Nicole, what up? So what happened was I didn't want it to be true. So I said I cannot accuse her. I can't stop fucking with her unless she admits it. So I'm curving her. She calling me, I'm not answering. She coming through trying to holler at me, I'm not answering. So finally I see her. She said, why are you doing this? I said, I heard you tell Nicole to hook you up with that dude. I wanted her to say, I didn't tell Nicole that. She did that on her own. She said, I'm so sorry. And I was hurt. Like, oh, why didn't you deny it? You could have denied it. And that shit fucked me up real bad. Like I said, I really thought I was going to marry Shanique. Like I thought that was going to be my real life girlfriend. We cool now, be seeing her, she got a husband and everything. But that shit fucked me up. So yeah, I've been hurt. Thanks, Shanique.
So when you're dating someone, do they
have a lot of
judge
people
you
in the past?
So when you're dating someone, do they judge you based off like the music you make?
I can't relate to that. I'm in a relationship. So I don't know, like you can't judge, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Everybody judges me off the music I make anyway. Yeah, people in general. They always do. Okay. People don't understand. A lot of times people don't understand that certain things are just scenarios. Certain things are metaphors for things. So, whatever, in every situation, people want to judge you, We got some more questions for people on the,
There's like a delay, I keep talking. All right. Here it is. What vocal training techniques do you use?
I saw that earlier. Somebody asked that. I don't use any vocal techniques. I sang every day. I started singing in like '07. I just taught myself how to sing because I was a rapper first. Mm-hmm. But what I did was I was writing songs for people and I just sang every single day. I was in the studio every single day and I just taught myself how to sing it. And every time I would sing, I would get better and better at it. You know what I mean? And I kind of came up with my own style of singing. And it's a lot of people might say it's familiar with other artists, but not realizing that I wrote those artists' songs. But yeah, I just sang every single day consistently, and it kind of like made me better. It's just like shooting a jump shot. You keep shooting and you learn how to make it. You keep doing it every day. You consistently know how to make it. That's how it was with singing.
How important is marriage to you?
Say that again.
How important is marriage to you? Is it something that you're considering soon?
Marriage. I'm gonna tell y'all something how I feel about marriage. I feel like God created marriage to be something amazing. A union between man and woman, and three people like God, man, and woman. That was amazing. Marriage. Marriage, amazing pairing, right, if you will. But what happened is the courts got involved, and America put all these stipulations, and it said if you fuck up, you got to get this money. Or if you don't want her to get this money, you got to come up with this contract. And then she signs the contract, you sign the contract, and you got to negotiate terms. And you got to do this. And I felt like that ain't what God intended it to be. So in my mind, marriage is I'm with you, you with me, and we riding. And The court ain't got to get involved in that. You know what I mean? Because God forbid I mess up and now your cousin and auntie in the ear talking about, girl, get that money. So another girl don't get it. And I was just like, that's what made me, it turned me off from the whole idea of an American wedding.
Would you get married
Do you
though?
want to get married?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
You know, that's why you got a prenup.
Prenups ain't shit. I learned a lot about prenups. They not bulletproof.
Yeah, they definitely not bulletproof.
It's things
But you
got
can marry a
so
woman
straight.
that has just as much to lose.
You said what?
I said you can marry somebody that you know has a lot to gain and to lose also,
Yeah,
right?
that's the way to do it. Because even then, it's just all this business, all this paperwork. Because now y'all both got to figure it out. Because when y'all buy things
Well,
together,
when
you got to
marriage
split
is a
up.
contract, it is a business, it's a tax break, you know.
Yeah, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things that they put in there that makes it convenient for you. But like I said, it's just so many. It's so political now. There's so many, Dr. T's and whatever, Dr. I's and whatever. You know that shit. People say.
You could be with one person for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
Very nice. All right. So the album is coming out when?
The album is May 19th, and do you want to
May
know
9th?
why the album is coming May 19th, and do you want to know why I made it May 19th?
Why?
Why, you ask? Glad you
Yes, why?
asked. Because so many people they put out these albums prematurely, and then you don't really get the opportunity for the fans or for millions and millions of people to really get to know you, and just so based upon one hit. After the first hit, people are still trying to figure out who you are. If they still mention you as, oh, that's the dude who sing, they don't know. Oh, that's the dude who sing, bitches be like, you ain't strong enough in the game. So what happens is, with the hit records consistently, it comes the opportunity to introduce yourself to a large amount of people. If you give me a big hit record and you give me 7 months to promote my brand, I'm well equipped. I feel like I'm armed with enough resources and enough visibility to get people to understand who I am and what type of artist I am to intrigue them enough to want to buy a record. A song ain't gonna do it. Just being a great song is the first step, and multiple great songs is even better. But it's not enough to make people say I want to buy that record. You got to really let them get to know you, especially in this day and age when everything is so accessible. So I wanted to make sure that May 19th gave me enough time to say, cool, we got a record out here. With the success of this record potentially, we praying. We always talk positive. I don't never chance say if. I really believe that this is going to be a humongous record when we sing with somebody else. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that with that success, we got time after it to say, this is the guy who performs this record. This is the guy who did this record. This is about him. We intrigue people enough. I feel like when people get to know me, I gain fans every time I speak. You know why? Because I feel like people are sick of listening to people who aren't intellectual. They're sick of not learning something from somebody when they speak. They're sick of not getting some type of insight. And if I have that to offer, I feel like there are legions and millions of people who are interested in hearing from me. So if I can put myself in front of those people, I know that it gives me all the armor I need, all the equipment I need to sell the albums that I really feel like I believe I can sell. I don't want to rush it.
And you also gave away your last album for free.
Yeah. Because I feel
Which
like
was amazing.
And it did so well for me, and so many downloads and so many people, new fans that I got, is because I didn't want to, like I said, I want people to get the opportunity to know me. If you put your album out, and we live in a world where the common person will shit on you for nothing. Like, you put out an album and do 40,000 units the first week, and they're like, oh, he had a flop. And he's like, my man, you couldn't get 40,000 people to do shit. Even if, like, you couldn't get 40 people to come to your show. But what happens is people, they judge based upon that, and I know what type of era we live in. So I said, let me make sure I equip myself. I don't want to rush my shit and then have the companies say, oh, he flopped. No, I want to give myself the opportunity to work it and work it and work it and work it and work it. When it's time for the album to come out, everybody should know. If anybody got to ask me when my album coming out, if May 18th comes and somebody sits next to me on the airplane and say, who are you? I'm in trouble.
Is it hard for
Well,
you
you
to
work
work
with
with
any
other artists now since you have your own project?
Is it hard to what?
Work with other artists now since you have your own project that you're working on? Is it like, man, this is a dope song. I don't know if I could get this up.
And I mean, I'm very selective. I really haven't been working with anybody lately. I haven't. I'm gonna be like honest. Like, I just today I'm working with the OMG girls, and I met with them, and I just think I'm intrigued by what they do, and I think I see potential, and I think I can add value to that, and that's fun for me to be able to do a whole project. That's what I'm into. But as far as one-offs, I haven't been doing that for a while. I'm not. I'm turned off by that whole idea. I feel like you spend years and years, months and months working with these artists and putting together songs, and then it's left up to somebody else to make the decision which song goes, and you put in all that work and then feel like you get left with nothing. Even if it's a successful record, what do you get out of that? You make a little bit of money, but it's about controlling the project, and that's what I'm more into more than anything now. I'm not really interested in giving, you sit down with me doing one or two songs. It don't interest me no more. I did it for too long. In a perfect world, though, if somebody told me you can write every song for Usher every day, I would stop what I'm doing and write songs for Usher for the rest of my life. That's one thing I would honestly do. That's how much I enjoy working with Usher. I think he's one of the greatest singers ever, and I feel like I was born to write songs for Usher. So that's one person who, if they told me, bro, you could do my entire project, that's something I would be interested in saying, you know what, I can do this. That's it. That's good for me. You know what I mean?
Have you ever talked to him about it?
Yeah. We spoke about it. I got sip my tea. You saw I sip my tea after that?
I know you have your own record label and you signed to your Thomas. Do you want like a full roster of artists like YMCMB, or do you plan on just having just a few artists on your label?
I want a full roster of artists, but I feel like I want to sign artists who want my help. You know what I mean? I'm interested in working with acts who really understand and respect what I can bring to the table and want me to help them and want my insight. A lot of times with artists, they feel like they got to figure it out. So, and it could work on their behalf, but sometimes it's not fun for me as an executive if I can't really, I don't never want to say control the situation, but I definitely want to give my input. I want my input to be respected. So I would love to have a huge roster. But look what Puff did with Bad Boy. Look what YMCMB did. Look at what Motown was. It was so many great acts that he was able to cultivate, and Barry Gordy was able to develop and cultivate so many different acts. I had people he trusted to bring him talent and to even cultivate those brands and to focus on the artist and repertoire and those type of things. I would love that, but I definitely want to be involved because that's what I love to do. It's my passion. So it's just like I didn't work this hard to get a record company and get a label deal because it's not easy to do. Getting a label deal is not like, he wrote some songs, give him a label deal. That's not how it works. That's not why I got my label deal. But with that, I want to be able to be more hands-on with artists, and I feel like that's my gift. That's what I've been able to do and make a career of.
What do you look for in an artist?
I look for artists who captivate people, who inspire people, and who evoke emotion. That's the close second to amazing talent. Amazing talent, a great singer, a great performer, a great rapper, whatever. That's first, of course. But after that, how can you affect people? You know what I mean? When I first met Tiara Thomas, she sat down in front of me, she played the guitar, and she sang Bad, and I was floored. I fell on the floor. She sang this song called Popular, which is one of my favorite songs, and I said, the world needs to hear her play this song on a large stage. When I get that type of feeling from an artist, and I see those type of acts, that's what intrigues me. It's not like you could be the prettiest girl in the world, you could be the greatest singer in the world, but if those two don't come together and you can captivate people and make people feel a certain way, it ain't enough. And a star, when they walk in the room, you know it. When they walk in with no money in their pocket, when a star walk in the room, you can say, that's a star. I know it. That's the one. That's what I look for.
Okay, here's another question from off of Twitter. Do you think that R&B is dead right now?
No. I think that R&B can never die because the influence is borrowed from everything. Even if you listen to I was listening to It Ain't About the Money with Young Thug and T.I., right? When he's singing that melody, that's R&B music. It's borrowed in everything we do. If you listen to country music, it's nothing but R&B songs with an accent. If you listen to even pop songs, the arrangements that they're coming up with, that's R&B. I think what happened is black singers are struggling now, and it's tough for anybody who's black and sings. It's like Sam Smith is making these great, amazing songs, but I think it'd be way more difficult if Sam Smith was black, to make those same records. That's R&B music. What Adele is doing, that's R&B. That's Aretha Franklin. So R&B is not dead. It's just the black artists are struggling the same way black actors are having a hard time getting into films and getting shows and doing those type of things. Those opportunities are really few and far between. I think the thing is consistency back there, and you have to find a way to make your music current and make it be able to touch the world. So records like somebody else that I'm focusing on, I'm not going to ever. I never want to be considered an R&B artist. First of all, I saw that question earlier, but I'm not an R&B artist. I'm just an artist. I make R&B music. Sometimes I make rap music. Sometimes I mix the two. Sometimes I'll just do straight production. Sometimes I'll, do something that has a little bit more of a crossover appeal. But I don't ever want to consider myself just to be an R&B artist. I respect R&B too much. And what I did was I borrowed from that greatness, and I wanted to kind of like make a melting pot of music, which is, develop who I am as a man, as an artist.
Great answer.
And you just got your hair done right before this? Did you just get your hair done? Did you just get your hair done?
We have our holiday party.
Yeah, I like it.
Thanks, Paris. My friend Paris did my hair. She was in the strip club with us eating chicken wings in the corner at Tootsie.
Oh, what? See, I just gave Paris a shout out without even knowing it. Shout out to Paris.
Hi, thank you for the shout out. Well, Rico, I always have appreciated you. You've always been super cool and really humble with everything that you do, and I know that it's always been really important to you, like the art more than anything, and the artists that you work with. I've never heard anybody say anything negative about you. Everybody always has great things to say. How important is it for you to cultivate your relationships outside of just work, to really just like talk to people and stay in touch and contact, or is it strictly business for you?
As far as artists are concerned?
Yeah, as far as that, like, are your relationships with a lot of these artists, do you feel like they have to be business, or do you feel like you have real friendships?
I don't form friendships with people unless it's organic. I don't hang out with artists. If you notice my Instagram, you don't see me with a bunch of rappers in the studio and hanging out in Vegas and on trips with these guys. I don't. I really feel like the less we know about each other personally, the less opportunity is for me and you to have a dispute or issue. Let's just keep it. Let's work when we work. Let's work. And we cordial. Certain artists I'm very close to. Usher's one of my best friends. Me and Puff is one of my closest friends. Flies is one of my closest friends. I care about people based upon me caring for them. I care about people based upon he hot right now and he popping, and that's what the industry is really about. It's like a big high school. And the coolest guys is over here, and these people hang with them. And when this person ain't cool no more, you don't hang with them. Me, I build relationships based upon who I like and who I get along with. You know what I mean? I work with an artist like Flies. I work with an artist like Rocco. I work with an artist like Waka Flocka. I work with an artist like Adrian Marcel. I work with Usher any day of the week. I work with different people because I want to work with them. You know what I mean? Not because, they popping right now. And that's what relationships in the music industry are really based upon. These guys really don't be friends with each other. I've been around guys who talk shit about each other, and then I look on Instagram and they be hanging out. You know what I mean?
They like my man right there.
Yeah. That's why I remove myself from all that. So if we doing business, let's do business. If we forge a friendship with them doing business and it's organic and it's real, then yeah, I'm all for that. But if it ain't real, if it's fake, I ain't fucking with it.
Besides rap and R&B, would you like write for a rock and roll or a country artist?
Yeah, I wrote country music. I work with a lot of great songwriters, Brett Ratner and Dallas Davidson. I work with Georgia Florida Line. I do all types of things. You know what I mean? Even with that being said, I wrote two of the biggest bachata songs in the world. Romeo Santos. I wrote Odios with him and Drake, and I wrote Promise with him and Usher. Like, so I'm out there. I feel like my catalog is really extensive, and I work with all type of different artists and walks of life and everything. I do music, and I really am a student of music. If you go in my car right now, what's playing in there, you'll be surprised. I listen to it. so many different things that I study it and understand it. You know, I just look at random documentaries and random people. I'd never want to be in a room with any musician or anybody for that matter, and they having a conversation. I know nothing about it. So I like to educate myself with all genres so that I can give a piece of what I do and add to whatever they're doing. You know, and you, in order to do that, you got to be educated. And so yeah, I'm willing to work with any type of.
What kind of music did you listen to as a child?
I grew up listening to Motown. My dad was really a huge Motown fan, and what I used to do was I used to sit in the house and watch VH1 Behind the Music. When I was a kid, Ange, you could remember this. VH1 Behind the Music came on every day. It was like episode like every day. It wasn't like now where it's like once every 6 months or some crazy shit they do. But it was like always on VH1 and Behind the Music. So I was always educated. So I would listen to stuff like Alice Cooper. I would listen to Queen, which is one of my favorite bands. I would listen to AC/DC and Def Leppard. I would listen to Ted Nugent and all type of. I was educating myself, and I just wanted to listen to all type of music. I was a kid listening to Elvis. People were like, "What you doing listening to Elvis?" Because I really wanted to
they don't know about the Beatles. Like they never heard no Beatles. They heard of them, but they don't know none of the music.
They only like this. They only know the Beatles songs that's in the commercials and stuff. You know, I'm actually right now listening to Magic Mystery Tour. You know, like those are the type of things I listen to, and I always wanted to educate myself. I never wanted to be in a situation where I didn't know.
Would you take a job at a label?
No, I would own one.
Huh?
I'm not a worker, baby. I own it.
You know how, but a lot of times these labels are saying, okay, we want to bring in like one of the top producers, songwriters to help with the artists and cultivate them.
Did Puffy do that?
Did he ever work? No, he had a deal at Arista, and
That's
then
it.
at
After that, it's only up here. I can't go backwards. I gotta own it.
What? Oh, yeah, Jay-Z did it.
Yeah, Jay did do it. You see, he got the hell up out of there fast.
It didn't last that long, but he tried it.
You know, he was like, you know what? This ain't enough bread for this type of stress.
All right, well, I feel good. If there's any last questions, if not, I'm gonna go get drunk at the holiday party.
Wow.
Hey,
Yeah.
what you doing for New Year?
I don't know yet. What you doing?
I don't know. I'm making my plan, but you know, I was just wondering if you had some big, you know.
I don't have anything. I don't have anything planned right now, but I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
Is everybody good? Anybody have anything last they want to say? Or?
Oh, it was really nice talking to you guys.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, Rico talking to you in LA.
Always like this. He's always very expressive.
Mhm.
You hear me?
I just really want to. I want people to reiterate. You know, the album May 19th. The song Somebody Else is out on iTunes right now. It's out on Google Play. It's out on Amazon. And it's an opportunity I feel like for people to know who I am and to really kind of understand, you know, the truth about how I feel about certain things. Some things may be wrong, some things may be right, some things you may agree with, some things you may disagree with, but it's purely how I feel. And I feel like the honesty is like, you know, honesty is something that's very important to me musically. So if you guys get to know me and spread the word, I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well done. Thank you, Rico.
All right, love. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.